Hey guys, it's your boy Student IRL back for another episode of the Enigmatica 6 SMP server. Oh yeah, guys. Crap, I used a hypno intro. That's okay. Anyways, welcome back, guys. So between episodes, we've done a little bit of decorating. We've used made a dark metal floor, and Christian is making like a base of yellow concrete for the walls. He's gonna be working on the walls between episodes. He made this thing, which is really cool. He made like a hazmat airlock kind of thing with the door sensor, and then we've got our hazmat suits in here and our Geiger counters, and we've got another door sensor right here. And look at that, it's pretty awesome. So if you guys can't guess, this episode we're going to be setting up our boy, the nuclear reactor. Now we had a pack update between episodes, and because of that, all of our quests got erased. There was nothing we could do about that, unfortunately, but that's okay because we can still look at all the quests and we can still follow along what we're supposed to do. So if you remember, we need to set up our reactor casing, that kind of stuff. So it can be up to 18 by 18 by 18, and originally I did want to do that. However, with the research that I've been doing, and also with advice from other people that have already played with the reactor, they said that I should really start out with the smallest one first, and then I can see if I want to do a bigger one. So we're gonna do a 5x5 base and 9 blocks tall. Now, a nice thing about modded Minecraft is you can do something where you can see chunk boundaries, and that is going to be extremely useful for us. So we're going to start right in the middle, right here, and we're going to go like that. And we've already got our reactor casing in our inventory. And let's remind ourselves, we want a 5x5 base and 9 blocks tall. Okay, so if that's the very middle, we want to do 1, 2, 1, 2. Oops. This thing is too powerful for my own good. Oh my god. Okay, bop, 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 bop. How big is that? That's 4. Man, that is sad. It's not gonna be quite the way that we want it to be, but that's okay. It's mostly in the middle. So let's take our reactor casing. Tristan's figuring out a way to automate getting black dye, because we really like this dark metal floor, and we want to make more of it, but it requires a lot of black dye. So Christian is going to work with Alex and figure out a way to automate it. It's a little bit more involved than you think. Okay, so that's a 5x5, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very nice. Let's oh, that's not the right one. Let's turn on hover mode. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And we're gonna build across like that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And build across like that. And one more time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thank you. Across like that. Perfect. That's how we know that we built this exactly right. And then we're going to put our reactor glass in place. We're not going to close it up just yet because this is just the casing for the reactor, of course. It is not the entire reactor. So I'm going to leave one part of it closed, or one part of it open, just a little bit. But I hope you guys are enjoying your Januaries. I'm still quarantining, unfortunately. I'm too pleased about that. But it's a nice excuse to order some DoorDash, which is great. Oh man, F in the chat for Christian. But yeah, it's giving me a good excuse to order some DoorDash. So I've been having some tasty, if somewhat unhealthy meals lately. But hopefully I will know sooner rather than later whether I need to stop hardcore quarantining or not. Okay, so here we are. We want our reactor ports, so we have 4 of them. I am going to put one right here. I'm not sure how these are going to work quite yet, but I'm going to just put one on each side for now, and we'll see how that goes. Here, let me remove one of those bad boys too. Nice. Okay, so that's the casing done. So let's read on. Safety precautions. So I did some wiki reading, of course, and we need to build a safety system to make sure that the thing does not blow up. So I think I made the logic adapter. Logic. No, I didn't. Of course I didn't. That's okay. Hopefully it shouldn't be too hard to craft. Logic adapter. Fission reactor casing. 1, 2. Nice. Oh, I made another one. That's okay. Okay, and then we need just a block, an observer, a piston, and redstone. So let's look up observer. There's an observer, and then we have pistons on autocraft, I believe. Yes. Okay, let's get ourselves a piston. Thank you. Some redstone. And we're going to use these dark metal blocks because they're the coolest crap. So, let's look at this. Okay. Let me refer to the wiki page and set up the circuit breaker for y'all, and then I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. So here's how this bad boy works. Basically, if the this bad boy right here, and we can set this when we turn the reactor on, but we can set this bad boy to output temperature, output redstone when the temperature is too high. And then it's going to trigger the piston and push the block up and trigger the observer, which is in the wrong direction, of course. And then that will trigger this, which will turn the reactor off. And that is how we be safe in 2020. And, oh God, why are you like this? Can I... No. Of course not. Give me that. Let's do that. Oh my God! I just want you to work, please. Please. Please work. Did that work? Of course not, because I'm gonna kill myself. No, I'm not. Let's do that, and that. And that should do it. Thank God. Yes. Okay. Let's get our logic adapter, put on the reactor glass. And there we go. So there's our circuit. So now we have at least some safety in place. So now for the fun stuff. Fuel rod assembly. This is what actually holds it. One assembly consists of a control rod assembly at the top of a column of fuel assemblies. Assemblies must not touch So arranging them in a checkerboard pattern is ideal. The materials gathered up to this point are enough to build a 5x5. Use the configurator to set the reactor ports appropriately. Okay. So I think that's what we actually use to set these. Let's do wrench, rotate, empty, configure, heat, energy storage. Aha, there we go. Can I change? Hello? Okay. No. Okay, let's look at this. Okay. Anyways, so let's make 30 fission fuel assemblies and 30 and 5 control rod assemblies. Of course, I haven't put these on autocraft yet, but that's okay. We can do it together. We can have a grand old time together, making our nuclear reactor. Okay. Pattern. So rod. We need to make this, which is lead, steel, and elite control circuit. Let's make sure we're using the correct lead and steel. Lead. Of course not. And steel. Of course not. There we go. And then the other thing we need to make is fission fuel assemblies, which is fission fuel assembly. Very nice. And then once again, steel. 1, 2, and lead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there we go. And do we have space in there? Yes, we do. Okay, let's make rod. Let's make 5 of those, and then 30 of these. Nice. And those should craft pretty quickly. Yes, of course, they will craft very quickly. These ones will take a little bit longer. Yep, these are just crafting up really quick. Nice. Okay, there we go. We got it. Let's get that. Fuel. Nope. Rod. There we go. Okay. So this is the big moment right here. So let's go over here and put our nuclear reactor together. So we need checkerboard pattern, so like this. That's what we want right here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I left the top off. That's actually a good thing that I did that. Okay. 1. And there's our control rod assembly. Thank you. 1. Almost done. Up, up, up. Nope. 1 too many. Very nice. There's our assembly. And here we go. Almost done. Very nice. Let's take our reactor glass. And let's button her up. So let's look at the quest book now. So There we go. Use the configurator to set the reactor ports appropriately. Place an input valve near the top of the structure in line with the vents for the turbine to allow for simpler routing of mechanical pipes. Similarly, the coolant output is best placed lower in the structure, again in line with the turbine's input valve to simplify routing of pressurized tubes. Okay. And then, so this is the last part right here. So it doesn't produce useful energy on its own. The steam it generates is run through an industrial turbine in order for you to generate FE. The turbine is also critical for recycling steam into water to return to the fission reactor for cooling. So let's follow this first of all and say input valve near the top of the structure in line with the vents for the turbine. Okay, so I want to put the turbine right here, I think. So let's get crazy. No, put that in place, and then we're gonna go over here and we're gonna put that. Give me that. Thank you. Port. So let's look at it. Input valve near the top. Output waste. Output coolant, input only, output waste. Output coolant right there. Input only. Okay, so it said input valve, the coolant output. Okay, so did I set that as coolant output? Yes, I did. Okay, so we are almost ready. Let's make our turbine and some pressurized tubes. See, I could have done all of this in between episodes, but I didn't because I want to spend more time with you guys. Smiles. I am so cringe. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being so cringe. Okay, let's go in here. We need to make 10 turbine blades, and we're gonna, of course, autocraft all of this. Let's get some more patterns. Pattern. Let's just make 20. Yep, there you go. Turbine blades. Turbine. There we go. Steel. Make sure that's correct as well. Let's get our patterns. Put them in there. So we have turbine blades, electromagnetic coils, electromagnetic coils. That. Let's make sure we're using the right steel yet again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then gold. Using the right gold. Yes, we are. Okay, there's our coils. This is a lot of stuff. 8 pressurized. You know what? I'm gonna actually do. I'm just gonna cut and do this because this is a lot. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, and I'm back, and we have a turbine. So it took me a little bit of fiddling around with this because the wiki is really not helpful with this. Well, it's a little helpful, but you know, it's not what it needs to be. So I will explain to you exactly how to do it. So you need it. So we did a 5x5 by 10 actually, not 9, because it's didn't explain it correctly. But the base needs to be 5x5. It can be made out of turbine casing or structural glass, but I'm just making all out of turbine casing. The sides below the rotor can be made out of structural glass or structural casing. I'm doing glass because it looks nicer. And then so we've got our turbine rotors and our turbine rods. So what you need to do is you need to put just one stack of turbine rods all the way up to the top, and you need to put 2 of these rotors per one. It's very easy. And then at the top you need to have a rotational complex, and you need to surround it with pressure dispersers. And then above the pressure dispersers you need to have electromagnetic coils. You need to have 9 of them all touching like that. And then above that, so it's very vague about this, but so you don't need saturating condensers, but if you're basically, if your reactor isn't like producing a ton of steam yet, it's good to just do these, because these basically help with it a little more. But that's basically all the helpfulness I got. One thing I can show you is that when you finish the multi-block, you'll know it's finished because it'll all go red sparklies like that. And then so around the sides, like from the rotational complex up, you want to add these turbine vents right here, all the way around, just like that. And then there we go, there's a completed turbine. So let's read to make sure there's Ryan. Let's read to make sure that we know what we're doing. Okay, the reactor will automatically output steam from a coolant output port. The steam must be passed into one of the turbine ports via a pressurized tube and water, then automatically outputs from any of the vents at the top. Any of the vents at the top of the structure can be passed back into an input port. Hello, Ryan. So this is import. So let's get some pressurized tubing. Pressure. Okay, we definitely do not want basic pressurized, so let's grab these out and let's make these into better ones. There we go. And then we should make those bad boys into better ones too. Oh, use. Oh, we need to make a reinforced alloy. Easy enough. We've got them on autocraft. Let's get one. Actually, we need to get a couple. Let's get 10. Doobie doo, doobie doo, doobie doo, da 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 da. There you go. Okay, it's gonna make more, but we're just gonna use this for now. So if this works correctly, that is not. So did it say vent? Any of the vents at the top of the structure. Well, that looks to me like a turbine vent. Normal. Maybe we need to complete the reactor. Let's do that. Let's get a reactor glass. One. Boom. There we go. There's all of this stuff. Okay. Okay. So now it's doing input. Do we need? Let's check this. Okay, it was this. That's annoying. It's really annoying that it did not clarify. Let's do that. Yes, there we go. That's what we want. So this output waste input. Very good. Can we change this? No. Okay. And then at the bottom here, it outputs coolant. Oh, crap. Into here. Get a structural glass and all of this, a turbine casing. And nope, we don't want that. We want this. Yes. And that completes it again. And then let's get our elite pressurized tube. Very nice. Okay. So that's that done. And then finally, let's see what we need to do to turn this bad boy on. The steam it generates supposed to run through. It's a complex multi-block. Yada yada. Let's go find another one of the valves. Yeah. So there's one more thing we need to do. output waste, output coolant, input only. So we need to input coolant. That's not telling me how to do that. I will be right back once again. Okay guys, I'm back. And so I figured out some things. First of all, I figured out the coolant. I just have to pump water into an input port. I'm using the sink again because the sink is great. And then you need an output into a radioactive waste barrel, the pressurized tube. And then this is the coolant is coming out and into the turbine, and then this comes back in to reprocess the water and that kind of stuff. But we have a problem. And the problem is that the quest book, of course, didn't explain how in the hell to actually make fuel for this thing. And I thought, oh, I just have to put it in uranium bars. Of course not. Of course not. You need fissile fuel, which comes from an isotropic centrifuge, which uses uranium hexafluoride, which comes from uranium oxide and hydrofluoric acid, and that is in the chemical dissolution chamber with fluorite and sulfuric acid, which comes from a chemical infuser with sulfur trioxide and water vapor, and and it is just an entire process that we completely did not do. And well, actually, I have a sneaking suspicion that it's in the quest book, and of course it is right here. Fissile fuel production. Oh well. Yep, I have to follow the entire quest line. Okay. You know, so this is what we're gonna do. We are going to leave this here, our lovely looking setup right here, and it might sit here for a few episodes because we're going to try and follow that quest line. And what I'm going to do between episodes is I'm going to try to re-get all of that stuff so that we, you know, we have what we need so we can actually do the quests. But sorry about that. At least you know how to set up the reactor and the turbine now. But thank you very much for joining me. The perspective thing is broken, so you're not gonna see my face, but that's okay. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode of the Enigmatica SMP. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.